this was a missed opportunity for you, Cooley. I
Well,
think
that
it's
wasn't.
an absolute missed opportunity for that.
I agree. I agree. Where from a clip standpoint and from being concise, meaning that a quick rebuttal right away. I agree that I have. So we got Commentary King. I see you in here, man. I'll bring you up while we go ahead and react to this clip.
Yes, that's actually what I'm here for.
Okay, you are. All right, what's up, man? Talk to me.
No, I want to watch the whole clip and then kind of go over it. I have some thoughts.
Okay, cool. You're talking about the one from tonight's conversation.
No, from it was a chat with a female that you did a little while ago, very, very recently.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the one from tonight's conversation. Yeah. Okay, I'll go ahead and
for the context.
Gotcha. I'll go ahead and play that in a second. Let me go ahead and bring it up. Anthony, I see you in here. Go ahead and turn on your camera. Okay, your camera's on, Anthony. All right, 1 second.
A lot of folks sharing it on my social media, so I said, okay, let me go see.
Yeah, man. I'll go ahead and play the clip. Let me go ahead and play, because while this is loading, you know what? I could just play it. I was gonna play it without their edits because they edit a part of what I set out. But
yeah. So, but I think that's
I think that's fine. Let's play that, right?
The whole context, because I mean that's really at the end of the day, I could tell that it was edited, obviously, to kind of like point counterpoint, and it had its desired effect. I can actually read you some of the comments here, but I want to hear the whole context. I don't.
Okay. So yeah, let me go. You don't. Okay, I got you. So let me go ahead and get that for you. Then give me a second. All right. Okay, so this is gonna take like 2 minutes to load. So while it's loading, man, let me get to the super.
While we're waiting, I can read.
Yeah, while we waiting, talk to me.
What's up?
I said while we waiting, talk to me.
Hey, yeah. So I'm doing some new job training and stuff. That's why I've not been around for a little bit, but I've been catching little clips and stuff that people share, and you seem to be a fan favorite. I am. So let me, I guess, give you a little bit of backstory. I've been around the far sort of left liberal side of the internet for quite some time. I call out nonsense wherever it is. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm a live and let live. If you want to identify as a man and dress the part, go for it, bro. You know, whatever. If you want to identify as an attack helicopter, for all I care, you know, I'm more about respecting people. Like if you want to go do that, get gay married and go, shoot, 240 Bravos, because that's your American right to do so. That's where I am. But folks are crazy. Okay. Let's just be absolutely honest.
So what's your thoughts on it? I understand that point of view when you're like, as long as this isn't really affecting me, go ahead and do what you want. I don't care. That's your American right. Essentially the part that I don't, that I have the problem with is when it comes to like transgenderism, for an example, since we're speaking about very broad things that you brought up, like with free speech, go ahead. Yeah. Free speech, say whatever you want. But when they're trying to make us affirm their delusion, that's when I have a problem. So like if a man wants to call himself a woman, bro, I mean, go ahead, call yourself a woman. But the part that I have a problem with is when you want us, other people, to affirm your delusion, to partake in it. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to, like in Canada, they changed that thing that Jordan Peterson going through. Like there's no more free speech.
The hate crime or the laws where if you misgender
it's the laws
somebody,
if you misgender someone. Like if you misgender someone, it's laws around that. So it's like calling someone a he, but it's a she, or calling someone a she, but they want to be called a they or something like that. So that's the problem that I have. But yeah, man, I get what you're saying though.
But I've actually had this conversation quite a few times over the years. I had a coworker actually who refused to refer to trans man that we were working with. This is at Lowe's many years ago. This guy refused and said, "Look, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible. I get that you feel whatever, but I'm going to call you she." And he went out of his way to do that. He didn't have to, but there was times where he did. And I said, look, here's what I say. Okay. I refer to you by the name that you tell me out of respect, not because I have some hang up on a box of pronouns and stuff that we were taught when we were, 4 years old. So I'm going to extend to you the respect that you extend to me. If you are not going to refer to me the way that I want to be referred to, right, or identify as, then I'm not going to reciprocate that, right? And so that's what it comes down to me. Now, folks who have a sort of a religious predilection, I can understand why they don't want to. And this is controversial if you, are I guess left leaning. I think people should have the right to do that and actually respect that, because a part of being in a society is understanding that not everybody agrees with you. You just can't shun everybody who you choose to, pick because they don't want to partake in the type of lifestyle that you have set out to partake in. Right. So, that they want.
I get that. I'm a little bit more, my views on it is the opposite. I think that by default, if someone is trying to say certain things like, oh, well, their XY chromosome is a male, but they want to dress up like a woman and they want to be called Caitlyn, and and he wants me to call him Caitlyn too. That's a form of influence. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it at all. So I always say influence is the most powerful force, right? Like influence is, besides physical force, mental influence is the second most powerful force, right? With that being said, if we're going to affirm people's delusion, well, that's going to influence people. That's going to influence the masses. And guess what? The truth is they're trying to influence us by saying that there's something that they're not. Right. So since they're trying to influence us by saying that there's something that they're not, I'm going to combat that with the truth by telling it like it is. Because if we fold, then, that leads to more degeneracy. That leads to more influence. Then it becomes a social norm. If we fold, it becomes a social norm. And we can't, dissolve in these delusions to allow certain things to become a social norm. Like, think about it. Gay marriage. Do we let that become a social norm? If we keep letting things become a social norm, transgenderism is really going to become a social norm. Pedophilia then is going to become a social norm. Grape could even become a social norm. Like, who knows how far the left will go? So we have to stand 10 toes down on principles and morals, I would say.
So it kind of comes across as a bit of a snowball fallacy. You know what I mean? It's a similar sort of argument that people made back during racial marriage or interracial marriage, and saying that, hey, no, it'll lead to bestiality and pedophilia and all this other kind of stuff. So I want to personally try to not make snowball fallacies, because I just don't know, right? And so that's the one thing. I understand what you're saying, is that if you give an inch, people take a mile. It's true with the government, true with a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
I would sort of contest that with the fact that there's always going to be some level of influence, no matter where you are as a part of a society.
Correct. Yeah, I understand the snowball fallacy. I understand that you don't really know what it's going to lead to. I understand all of that, right? But just the fact that we don't know what it's going to lead to is that's enough to combat it.
I think, but you can take three positions if we were to adopt that. Sorry.
And I would say that it's different ways you can combat it, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with combating it. How I think, the conservatives are combating transgenderism right now, right? I think, we got Matt Walsh and all of these people doing certain content and, producing content out there that's, putting the awareness out there that, no, there's literally people that's deluded and they want everyone to affirm their delusion. If not, they think that it's like a hate crime and you don't accept them and you don't think that they should exist. No, we're not saying that. We want you to exist. You are a human being. But the things that you identify as, well, think about this, bro. There's something, my daughter's in school. She's in 7th grade. She's 12 years old. And she came to me. She was like, hey, Daddy, there's people girls and boys that dress up as animals and walk on all fours, and they call themselves Therians, right? Therians is a thing. Like they're like fairies almost, right? Yeah. So like think about how far it's going already. Like it's already in the schools. People are, and think about how those kids were influenced because they had weak family. They had a weak mother and father, or probably no father, and just came from, or in foster care or something like that, or didn't have a mother. So they really didn't have a strong household to help block out negative influences, so they were more susceptible to it, and now they're dressing up as animals thinking they're a cat and a dog. It's weird. But yeah, I got these clips loaded. Let's go ahead and play the first one.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let's see here. Okay, it's already loaded up. All right, so this is the beginning. So this is prior to the stuff that the woman said to me. This is prior to it. This is what got her emotions riled up. And prior to this, to give it some context, I mean, I was flaming. Just put it like that, bro. That's why there's emotion. I was flaming, man.
It happens.
Shout out to tonight's conversation. If y'all want, you can download the app. They got a whole app. They don't really put the stuff on YouTube, but they got a whole app and everything. So yeah, man. But yeah, let me go ahead and play it.
All right.
Girls that are modern don't qualify for the top tier men usually. That's just a fact.
I disagree.
No, they qualify for recreational use only. They'll smash those single moms. They'll smash those chicks in the club and stuff, but they don't wife them up.
You see right there, she was already. she was at her last leg already, right there. She was like so the thing is, right, when I'm speaking, I'm not speaking about her. I'm speaking in general.
A certain class of women.
A certain class of women, but she took it so internally because she's actually a single mom, which I didn't know. She's a single mom, and she don't have a man. She don't have any top tier man. So, but I found this out, like, it hit me like a little bit afterwards, like, that's why you were upset. Let's continue.
You got no true commitment because you don't qualify, man. These niggas lie to you, like I said. If you want to get rich, you lie to people that want to be lied to. If you want to make a living, you tell the truth to people that want to be told the truth to. If you want to be broke, you tell the truth to people that want to be lied to. I don't care about going broke. I'm here to tell the...
Okay, so stop it right there. So right then and there, and then we'll get to, let me put you up here. So right there, during that conversation, I'm speaking actually as the symbol of the entire podcast that I'm on. Like, this is a podcast that pander to women. Right. This is a podcast that lie to people that want to be lied to. So I'm speaking actually to the host. I'm speaking to everyone that's there. Like, yo, we having a conversation about, you know, men leading and women following their lead and stuff like that. So we're having this conversation, and it's like, yo, like, the reason why y'all emotional right now is because people been lying to you. So now let's play the next clip. This is the reaction. And this is the full context of it, where she takes the things that I'm saying out of context and she wants to make it personal when we're speaking about top tier men. Okay. And also context, when we're speaking about top tier men, all of the things that she said a top tier men should have, Ace, the host, he already granted it. He already said that this man is a good man that embodies good character. So when she said this stuff, that's why I'm just sitting there like, bro, what? This is all. Don't even go with the con. What are you talking about? But let's bring it up.
All right. Uh-oh.
Give me a second. Chat, man, send in some super chats. I see y'all in here. Let me get to the one super chat since we're waiting for this to come up. Abel sends in $2. Marriage isn't for me because of the contract required. I feel you, brother. I feel you.
But he just went through a divorce, so yeah, I understand. I was on the phone with that man for 3-4 hours every day. It was bad.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, let's get to it.
Men, and that is the truth.
Okay, so since
I don't care about going broke or none of that.
So since
you believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
By what standard? Well, when I'm in a relationship, I'm not speaking about myself, but if you ask me a direct question, I can answer it anecdotally.
So right there, that's the part they took out, right? So they took out that part, the
you qualified
preface
it by saying I'm going to answer this personally as my personal anecdote. Yeah,
exactly, like personal anecdote, and I never actually said I'm a high quality, high tier man. I just said, well, I'll speak about it anecdotally. Whatever you think is a top tier man, I'm just going to give percentages, and not only that, I'm speaking about top tier. So I'm thinking about something that's scarcity, that's rare. She starts listing qualities. Well, let's get to the clip. You'll see. Mm-hmm.
Only about 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K.
That stat was actually wrong on my part.
I mean, there's niggas. If you think about it on a world level, I'm in the top 1%,
of the US.
And I'm black at that. If you add that on, so just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math. Go to you.
What is your math? Hold on, before we go.
Okay, can we pause it right here for a second?
Got you. Okay, just pause it. What's up?
So I knew something about this clip felt off because you were offering a standard, right, for dating potential, essentially. Like if you go on any sort of dating app, you're going to see
exactly
what women prefer. And being over 6 feet tall, I'm a big fan of watching. You watch Kendra G. I don't know if you are familiar with her show.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, so go watch. So if you want to validate your point better, go look at Kindred. You don't have to watch any video, actually.
Yeah.
Go look at the titles. And I would say easily 70 to 75% of the women that come on there are specifically looking for women or men, would make 100K and 6 feet tall, to the point that it's a meme on the channel for all of us who watch it. So your reference to that is actually very accurate.
And not only that, context in it, we were speaking about, once again, Ace already said that the top tier man, he already has the stuff that, the woman want, like the good personality, the good character. He already said that this guy is a good man. So this was in the beginning of the podcast prior to it. So then we're only speaking about like 5-10 minutes before this even came up. We're having debates about, hypergamy and women and like the top tier guy that makes, 6 figures and this and this. She switches it to something else. So I'll play the rest.
Okay.
So she goes to value and then she goes to personal attacks.
Alone makes him not ideal or your type, right?
Not ideal for
anybody,
you,
right?
They took that part out too.
My opinion and what my thought was, and that's what I'm giving, just like you, right? If we're speaking anecdotally. The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. A top tier man, they lead with love, not with dictatorship, right? They don't want to control their woman. They want to gently lead their woman. A top-tier man creates space for a woman to feel good about herself. A top-tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top-tier man prioritizes a woman. A top-tier man is in leadership and working as hard as he is to give the woman the life of her dreams.
And with all that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk. So at the end of the day, what is that?
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire 6'4" man still wearing braids, but
obviously,
that.
What was that? I mean, I don't make any ad hominem attacks, so please be respectful, because I've been respectful.
I am being respectful, but
here's what I want to say. You're speaking about control. You're saying that a masculine man. Let me just finish my point. You're saying that all the traits that I spoke about that embodies masculinity. You said it and you said it. You're pretty much insinuating that, he's like trying to control and dictate.
Well, you are.
Did it ever hit your mind that maybe this is what girls yearn for and actually like, women actually like, and they just follow the man's lead. They submit naturally. There's no control in my relationship. There's no control with people that act and behave like me.
The fact that
I have my mindset.
Yeah, so that's the clip.
Wow. Okay, so...
So now you get the full context where people was thinking she ate, and then it got even worse. Like then I flanked, because then she was making personal attacks.
She was already a bit hostile with the tone and certain little quips.
And I'll put out, my editor is going to put out more clips, like people just, saying whatever, but my editor is going to put out more clips, and it's, bro.
You should milk it. Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to milk it. We're going to milk it.
So like, well, the comment about womanese, much to the chagrin of quite a few people on my social media, they didn't like that term. I understood what you meant by that, but I think a better point could have been made. I think both of us
for sure. I think that even in even in that moment when, like, the point that was made, like prior to all of this anyway, that she didn't get, like, mind you, this came out of nowhere, where she's making a personal attack, because I'm speaking in general, but my generalities, she fit in. She's like, oh, wow, he's speaking about single moms. Oh, wow, he's speaking about, these, women that's boss babes. Like, I'm hurt. So then she got defensive and she wanted to attack. So with that being said, she was manipulating herself. And I told her many times, I said, manipulation happens prior, and in the beginning of the show, I said, manipulation happens when you focus on the effects instead of getting to the root cause. Like, what do you truly want? Before, the thing is, she listed all of these qualities in a man, right? Mm-hmm. But there's many men that can embody these qualities, but there's still a prerequisite that the man has to meet, is the stuff that I'm speaking about. So even though she can meet a man that embodies all the stuff that she just said, but if he's 5'2" and broke, he don't qualify for her. So her point is all in void. Her point is manipulation. It's low IQ. Is without logic. It's just talking just to talk.
So I think that, so here's one thing. Rather than the womanese comment, I would have asked her if she's spoken to my wife, if I were you. Because there's certain assessments that were made about somebody's character and about what they would do in a relationship. And I think both of us are married, correct, Cooley?
Not married, but I have a girl.
Okay, so you've been in
I'm in a relationship with
a woman nonetheless.
For sure.
Had she spoken to your significant other prior to that conversation?
No, not at all.
Okay, how would she know your qualities as a partner, as a man?
Exactly.
So that's the point that I would have made to her, is that you're making presumptions based on this archetype that you've constructed about who I am as a person. This is the first time we've had an extended conversation in ever. Yeah. So you can say all of this. You can construct this straw Cooley to attack, right? But if you are going to make a salient point, right, what I'm referring to here are the outward attributes that women look for in today's dating market. Now, of course, there are other qualities that actually make a man, but that's not necessarily what you were asking me. And that's
exactly
the second point. You were asking me what my personal, definition or description is of a top-tier man. What I tell you as a man is going to be wholly different from a woman. That's like asking a woman what makes a good wife. Well, only a husband would know that.
Exactly. True indeed, man. You're speaking facts. I mean, it was just personal attacks, and the clip went on for more than this as well. And, she got bodied even more at the end, where I even said more stuff, because she was making ad hominem attacks. Like I said, I'm not making any ad hominem attacks about you. Be respectful. And then it went into more. She's still talking about my character. Then I said, well, what about your character? So I flipped it back on her.
Right.
And, that conversation. So my team, we're going to clip up some stuff like that, drop that, put it out.
Because, I'll actually read you one of the comments here. It's pretty funny.
Go ahead.
So just so people are aware, I was amongst these folks because they added me. They saw my conversations with, because like I said, I go after dudes, I go after women. It don't matter. Any of these hands
for sure, man.
Are rated for everybody. But they thought that I was some sort of white knight champion for women on the internet.
Yo, before you do that, give me 1 second. Everyone on Instagram, come on over to YouTube right now. I'm going to close down the Instagram stream. Come on over to YouTube. That's No Fugazi Podcast on YouTube. So if you like this convo, we're going to get into some more deeper context of this conversation. And actually, I even play more of the clip itself, so you can see what even happened after that.
Yeah.
So 1 second.
So yeah, you're good.
Go ahead, man.
But so I've been amongst these folks. I just kind of sit back and watch them. One of the things that I excel in a lot of these conversations is sitting back, not participating, and just watching people talk amongst themselves with people they agree with. And I've learned quite a bit. And so most of them can only offer snide comments in any way. But one of the comments I kind of laughed at, exactly, because the braids and beard is unattractive, he doesn't look clean cut to me, and what he has on is childish. what the hell does that have to do with the conversation in any way, shape, or form?
It's all emotional type arguments, man.
Say again?
I said it's all emotional type responses. It's all responses to attack not what was said, like her response. It wasn't to attack what I said. It was to attack the character of the person that's saying it when they don't even know the character of the person that's saying it.
No, I think they may have to make certain presumptions for that. But I think that I wish you would have called me. But I will say, that I did definitely want to push back on that, because the womanese, I get it. You know, you're taking a shot at her, but this was a missed opportunity for you, Cooley. I think that wasn't an absolute missed opportunity for that.
I agree. Where from a clip standpoint and from being concise, meaning that a quick rebuttal right away. I agree that I do podcasts all the time where I have girls, and girls talk to me. I mean, like that all the time on a podcast. They want to attack my character. And there's many missed opportunities when you're doing a long format podcast and you're shooting, where it's like, okay, I could have been concise. I could have said this here and there. Fully granted, totally fine. But I mean, that's nothing new to me.
Yeah.
Nothing new at all.
I had to give you some pushback, sir. You know,
for sure, man.
There's far too many people to come on here and fillet you through the screen.
I even said I was speaking. When that episode came out, I'm like, why didn't I say this right after that? And then that would have fully defeated the argument instead of waiting 30 seconds later then to defeat it. So that's how it goes, because it's clipped.
2020.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say. So I think that there was something else I want to push back on. So because we were having a transgender conversation. I think folks that upset some folks in the chat. I have to be fair across the board. That's the one thing that I don't like about people who are incredibly left leaning, is that they don't see hypocrisy in calling for people to be empathetic, towards trans folks and whatever, but they're not going to be empathetic towards people who disagree with it, because not everyone's going to accept everything. And that's the reality. I have a cousin who's trans, and we have very real conversations about some of the stuff people talk about. And I'm like, look, if you get a BBL, you're going to look like one of the bugs from Bug's Life, one of the ants. And so I'm going to laugh at you, and other people will. But, you need to be real. You mess with dudes, let dudes know that you are trans, and don't catfish anybody. These are real conversations to have with real people, even if they, of that lifestyle. But it's not about mutual respect. That's something that's incredibly lacking, and understanding that, just because you think that you're righteous and you got the progress on your side and all that kind of stuff, that doesn't mean what you're doing is the best way. Because guess what? If you alienate the people that you're trying to convince that you're right, what are you doing?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's always a way to go about things. You don't want to. It's always a way to go about things, to say things in a certain way, or just to strategize, to do things more strategic, to try to, convince people of a higher purpose and a better way of life than hating themselves so much that they want to, change. A man wants to change into a woman, or a woman wants to change into a man. It's a mental illness, man. It's a mental illness. So they do need help. No one wants to shun them and say, hey, you should off yourself. No, not at all. I think you need help.
No, too much,
I think we should make a space for people that suffer. And the most greatest space that we can make, which, I mean, you're not really religious, right?
No, I don't do religion.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you're not really religious. But I mean, one of the most greatest spaces that we can make for people that suffer mentally or suffer from, many things, the circumstances, is you have to find meaning outside of just the worldly physical things, of materialistic things. You have to find meaning from a higher source, from God, right? So most of these people, they secular. They don't really believe in any type of God, religion, or anything. So they're trying to find meaning here on earth, but the meaning that they're trying to find is too thin to deal with their suffering. And one of the things that Christian and Christ provides is you find meaning outside of here. That's what I would say. And like your argument will be, I think we had this conversation before, well, you could just make up something in your head to find meaning too. But I think that, this Christianity holds more weight. It's rooted in, it has history. It has, it has the Bible. It has a full community that's backing it. So I think that's a way to find meaning outside of life.
Does find a struggle, people who hold a proposition make it true?
Not at all. Not a number. I'm saying that just the fact that that it's been around for it stood the test of time.
That's not an argument from tradition?
What'd you say?
Is that not an argument from tradition?
That is an argument from tradition, but that's one argument to say that this thing stood the test of time. So how about you look into it at least? Yeah, but
Islam
how about
has
you?
As well, but does that give Islam validity?
Yeah, well, I'm saying, but how about you look into it?
I have that, like, a part of my like I said, almost the last 10 years I was on YouTube and Google Plus. I was debating with Christians and Muslims and all types of theists. I have actually extensively done that. That's how I know all this.
When you have ever been had a situation when you were suffering and you felt like there was no way out?
Oh yeah, that's just life, man. I've been in the army.
Life.
Oh yeah.
yeah. You felt like you were suffering. There was no way out. And did you ever get on your knees and pray, or No,
not at all.
You never prayed religious. At all.
I wouldn't do that.
So what did you do at those times of suffering? How did you overcome?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. How did you overcome?
Oh, so I understood that what I'm feeling now, I'm being emotional. I understanding that this anxiety that I'm feeling, this impending dread, is an emotion that's triggered by outward stimulus. So after understanding that, I was able to calm myself down and come to the rational conclusion that I'm just tripping. I need to get over it.
Well done, man. You're able to regulate your emotions a lot more than others, but there's others that, they can't. They don't have the ability to do that, right?
Most people don't have the tools, but
most people don't even have the tools.
Religion provides you with literally a manual on how to handle that situation much better. If you don't have the same type of tools I have access to, then obviously you're going to use whatever you have available. And if people are different, do that.
With the tools that you said, that's fine. Rational thought, understanding the reality of things. I'm in an emotional state right now. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the the full scope of things, not just the glass half empty. That's fine. That's good. That's a good strategy to overcome suffering. But there's many. The thing with life is situations happen, but people take it differently. And something that can happen to you, it can happen to the same person, like a car accident, the same injuries the person can have, or no injuries at all, just the situation itself, or even being in the army, whatever it is, and being in a shootout, whatever it is, you may be fine because you're able to regulate your emotions better. You're able to have a perspective about things, meaning that you're able to look outside of yourself instead of just being dissolved in your own box. And most people that have a strong mindset, they'll overcome, right? But then there's many people that really don't have a strong mindset, and they don't have not just the tools, like they don't have the ability, like their thinking is just, it's too much emotionalism, right? Maybe they came up with their circumstances when they were young, their family, whatever it was, right? And it's hard for them to overcome suffering. And the thing is with religion, let's say, forget about Christianity, we're saying with religion, with God, meaning that believing in something that's higher than yourself. Just by believing in something that's higher than yourself, you feel like you have more purpose because, okay, this worldly stuff doesn't really matter because there's a bigger picture out there anyway. Right. So just by believing in that, not just thinking, but you actually believe that there's an afterlife. And if I can overcome enough, I could be a good person and treat people good and try to speak truth and try to live a good moral life. Then there should be some good purpose for me at the end of the road, even though I'm suffering. So I get what you're saying and I don't disagree, but I do think that, religion, man, is the belief in God, I would say, and believing in a higher power is what people really need. That's what I would say. Not religion itself. Religion kind of, people say that they're religious. It's the relationship with God, I would say. People say they're religious and stuff like that, but they don't follow anything, and we're all sinners.
Lots of single moms on Kendra G say they're God-fearing, they're looking for a God-fearing man.
Yeah, and
even as a non-believer, I don't. If even I don't get it, But no, I agree. So I'm not one of those non-believers who thinks that religion should be eradicated and then there'll be like a utopia on earth. And there's actually quite a few non-believers that actually believe that, and it's stupid. But I think
no, for sure. Even someone like Sam Harris, he even knows that religion is a huge, and he's an atheist.
An anti-theist, like people who believe that are called anti-theists. They actually
anti-theist. Okay,
yeah, they would be considered anti-theists. Most of us just don't care. Like they say, it's not. It's just like some people's college and army, and it's just not for me, right? That's how they treat it. But they're not going to disrespect somebody who chooses to say, hey, these set of morals, a set of ethics, I'm just going to apply that, and that's going to give my life meaning, because I don't define what give Cooley's life meaning, right? So if religion gives Cooley's life meaning, then so be it, as long as he's not hurting anybody, And so I think that should be the best way to kind of treat that. And I also think that should extend to these socio-political debates that goes on. Hey, you don't have to accept a transgender person, and guess what? They ain't got to accept the fact that you don't accept them. But you know what? You keep a respectable distance, because how often are you gonna actually run into one another? You know what I mean? So
for sure. Yeah, I get that, but still, I know you still keep going back to certain things. I still gotta say it, man.
Yeah,
you gotta fight.
Go ahead,
you gotta fight you gotta fight influence with influence. Like smallest little bit of influence. They're a man. You're dressing up like a woman. You're going out in public. People are going to see you. You're influencing people. So with that being said, got to fight against it.
I understand. You had said something on a video, and you just reminded me. It was something about...
was it good?
Like, it was funny.
Okay.
It was about gay influence. It's something like, to keep trying to show you... I think it was like male PDA or something, and influencing people to be gay. It was something to that effect. Okay. I cannot remember exactly, but within the last week I saw that clip, and I was thinking, I said, so how many Queer Eye for the Straight Guy videos does Cooley have to watch before he start liking men? Because I said, sir, it don't work like I'm
man. That
holy. You can show me Barney 24/7, ain't gonna make me like men.
That's not the point of what I said, man.
I'm making fun, but you know what I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying, but. Yeah. It's really when it's influencing more susceptible people. Who's susceptible? Kids are susceptible. Who's susceptible? Women are susceptible. Who's susceptible? People in vulnerable situations, right? Grown men, been through life, already established, got their head on straight. We're not as susceptible. So that's what I say. But you got to think about it, because I'm thinking for the future. Forget it. I'm not really thinking about myself. I'm thinking forward I got kids. So I'm thinking like the legacy that I'm leaving behind. I don't want them to be influenced by all of these negative influence, because I'm having kids. I'm having some more dropping babies, man.
I understand. Hey, I got a vasectomy, but I respect that.
You got no kids.
I got one kid and one vasectomy, sir. Hey,
okay.
I'm responsible.
Fair enough. Well, you're a father, man. Salute to you. Yo, Commentary King, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the super chats. Yo, I appreciate the tuning in, and also appreciate you for staying and reacting to some of the content and stuff like that, man.
Absolutely.
Blessings to you. If you ever you got your own podcast, right?
I got a little channel, so I upload stuff. I do
you got a little channel
here and there, but yeah, I'm going to be doing more, because I am a speaker for the Black non-believer sphere, so I still do that. I do a little actually going on a cruise with my wife, and I'm going to talk about how you have discussions, religious and non-religious people, how to have better discussions. So I still do that. And so what I'm doing now is sort of working my way back into talking about more like these socio-political topics. So I see a lot of people, don't like what I got to say, and that's fine. But I'm gonna say it, and we can agree, we can disagree. But
man, I think
opinion,
I think when you come on, it's always a good discourse. We agree to disagree on many things, but we hear each other's perspectives. I'm not really trying to change your mind. I don't think you're trying to change mine either. But I think it's still the battle of it's an intellectual battle always between us. We throw little jabs in here and there, but it's good for sport, man. It's like playing, pickup basketball. Hop on a court, let's get a 21.
Yeah, there we go.
That's what it's about. So respect to you, man. What'd you say?
I was waiting for some more people to come on here and give you a good challenge so I can sit back and enjoy it.
We got some people in here. Stay around. I may bring you back up depending on we get some people in here, because I know you love the debate too.
I'm not going to be able to come back tonight because I got to wake up pretty early tomorrow. But this weekend, I don't know if you're streaming Sunday. I should definitely have more time.
Streaming Sunday.
Yeah, if people want to come up, and I'm for it. You know, people that flat earther, if he still want it, he can get it too.
He still want it? Yeah, we got to find him, man. I'll bring him on up. All right, man. Have a blessed one, man.
All right, man. See you.
Peace. All right, chat. Everyone in here, like the podcast, No Fugazi Podcast on YouTube. Everyone on Instagram and Facebook, come on over to YouTube. Go ahead and click the like button. Don't be a ninja watcher. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed.